Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and today we're going to work on finishing up our little index card journal. This is the little bunny rabbit one, and I will link the Etsy store that I got this from. This is from Terry's Paper Treasures, and I'll link that below. But we're going to make a cover, and then we're going to attach our pages and try to finish everything up today. Now this is just some corrugated board that I got off of an Amazon package, and I've kind of cut it down to the size that I need. It's going to be a little bit long, but I can trim the ends off. Now I'm going to put some white gesso on here, but first I want to put some of this ground espresso ink, and I want to put it down in the crevices. I want to see how this works, because like I said, this is brand spanking new to me. Most everything that I do is brand spanking new. Sometimes I'll have an idea of how I want it to look and how I'm going to proceed, but most of the time it's trial and error. Some of them are complete errors and you never see them. They never go up. But for the most part, I put them up, and you know, you guys just seem to like my process, so that's what we're doing. So I'm using my little inking tool, and I'm just putting a good bit of ink on there, and I'm just pressing it down into the crevices on this corrugated board here. Because I want down in the crevices to be darker than the white gesso that I'm going to put on the top. We're going to do quite a few different things to this cover, so we're going to have to do it first and lay it aside and let it dry. Okay, I think I've about got it like I want it. So I'm going to close my ink up. And then I just have some white gesso here. And this is always the fun part, is trying to take this little piece off first time. Now I don't keep this piece because to me it just aggravates me. Some people leave it on there and they use it, you know, to try to keep their gesso from drying out. I've never really had that problem because I usually use it up pretty quick. But you can keep it or not. Now, if you don't have gesso, you can use white paint. Either one. Okay. If I use my brush, it's going to put the gesso down in the cracks, and I don't want that. I don't know if I'm going to use that off of there. That's pretty thick. There we go. I want it just on the top. So I'm just going to dip. And some of it's going to go down in there, and that's fine, but I mainly want it just on the top of the little mountains there. And I don't want a real smooth application. I want it to look like it was maybe painted a dark color. Somebody come along, painted it a lighter color. Just some different shades on here. And when I see some that goes down in the crevices, I'll just use my little tool and pull that out. But this, you can use white paint to do this if you don't have any gesso. Just grab your white paint and your ink and get to going. It'll work. And like I said, I'm probably going to cut part of that end off because it's a little bit longer than what I need, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of doctor it up for now, and we'll see about that a little later. Now I am going to take a towel, and in these little places where it really went down in there, I'm just going to swipe a little bit. Okay. Now for a lot of this, I use my fingers. My finger tools seem to work a little bit better sometimes than the regular tools do. It will wash off, so it may take it a few days, but it'll wash off. No, it usually washes off pretty good. I'm just trying to get any lumps that I might have down in there, because it'll take those a while to dry if I don't. So I try to get those up like that. Okay. All right. we're going to close this up and then put this aside and let that layer dry a little bit. I am going to come back and I'll put a little bit on the edges. I'll just go along the edge with my paintbrush and put a little bit on the edges, but I'm going to let this dry first so that it'll be a little bit easier to handle. So I'm going to lay this aside. Now, if you have some gesso and it's a little bit dried out, because sometimes when you leave it sitting for a while, it'll dry out a little bit, you can put a little water in there and then just mix it up, and it should come right back to life without any problem. I just take wipes and clean my tools off a little bit. I don't clean them off well until everything is finished, and then I take them to my sink and give them a good wash, because gesso will ruin your brushes if you don't clean them up right away. So a lot of times if I'm working and I don't want to go to the sink right then, I just wrap it up in a wet wipe and leave it sitting, and that'll keep it moist so that it'll still clean up when I go in there to wash everything up. And this is just one of our non-stick craft mats that I have used and abused lots of times. So that's why it looks like it does, but it still works. And then what I want to do now is, I was going through trying to decide how I was going to attach all of this, and I have determined that I really want to punch holes in the end here and attach it that way and just use some seam binding. So I have gone through on all of these and I have scored them at 1/2 inch. Some of these I may have to reinforce a little bit with some washi, because some of the cardstock is a little bit flimsy on some of these pieces, and I'm just going to go behind those and reinforce with some washi tape. Not a big deal. Just don't want it to crack and break off. These are actually pretty strong here. Now this one, I put my paper down a little bit too far, so I'm just going to take that, cut that off right there, right even with my fold there. There we go. And then I've not inked around any of these or anything like that, so I'll probably do that too. See, it's some of these that are a little bit brittle, and one reason is because they got so wet when she was processing them. But I'll just go over the back with some washi and reinforce it. Not a big deal. And hopefully I got all my paper pretty well on there like it needs to be, and I won't have to trim anything off on this end. But if I do, that's fine, because there's plenty of room to trim. That one goes a little crooked, so let's see if we can straighten it out. Alright, and then my pockets. Alright, so this is what we have. This is going to be my front page, I do know that. And that looks like it is folding up there very well. This, I want to put some washi across here. And I'm just going to grab a washi that will kind of sort of look okay on there. Let's just use some of this. This is kind of a neutral color, and it's florally. I know that's definitely not a word, but, and that'll just reinforce that a little bit. Okay, and then everything still bends, and I may go ahead and put a piece on the front too. I just don't want these cracking and breaking off, and it doesn't even have to go all the way. We'll just put it right there. Okay, now that is good, not a problem there. This is actually pretty good. I don't see a problem with it, but I'm going to go ahead and reinforce the back anyway. It won't hurt for it to be reinforced. Okay, reinforce these on the front and the back. Alright, we have all of those pieces reinforced, and now what I'm going to do is, these pockets were just a little bit too long when I tried to put them in here, and I couldn't really attach a piece here because of them being so thick. I couldn't really attach the end there, so I have put a little hinge on them, and I can either attach the pocket in like that where it just flips just like the rest of it, or I can attach the pocket onto the page where it actually just flips from the page. So I'm trying to decide which way I want to do it. I've put my score tape on there just so I can see. I know I don't want to put it on the front and not on there. Let's see. That one there, that one there. I may put it right there. And that's got the pretty color underneath. So do we want to do it that way, where it just flips? Or do we want to actually attach it to the page where the page flips and then the pocket flips separately? I'm thinking I'm going to attach it this way. So all I'm going to do is take the backing off of this score tape, and I'll show you on the next one exactly how I did this. Not hard at all. Got that down there, and then so you'll have a pocket here, and then it'll flip up, and you'll have your page here with the writing room back here if you need that too. And I may put a little bit of something right over that. Let's just put a little piece of this over that. And it could actually be a little tuck too, because on this end we really don't have anything but the trees. So we could put this on there and then let this be a little tuck. Let's do that. Okay. Erase my little mark there. And then we will put a little pull in this. And I'm going to ink it up just a tiny bit. And I'm using Victorian Velvet to ink with. I think that's what I inked all the other pieces with. So then we'll put a little glue down through here. Because since this is going to be such a small little journal, you need to come up with creative ways that you can have to store, you know, little pieces of ephemera or little journaling spots, things like that. So this seems to be a good way right there. So then you've got a little tuck. Oh, that would look pretty cute right there. Let's just do that. This is a completely different collection, but it will go. It's got the same coloration in it, so we're going to use it. So there's that. So we got that there. All right. So that page is finished. And then that one. That one. And I think we'll put the other one, let's see. I just don't want to cover up my little bunnies. That's why I keep looking at the pages to see what they are. Let's see. Let's put the other one right here, because this has just got a tree on that side, so I think that will decorate that page up good. Now I just cut a little piece 1 inch wide, and then the height of this, and then I'm going to put my score tape on one side, on the side that I'm going to slide in here, because see, I opened that up when I cut it. So the side that I'm going to slide in here, which is this side, I'm going to put score tape on both sides. That's going to attach it to that, and it's also going to close that end up. So it's going to do two different things to it. So put it there. And then on this one, you just need to put it on one side, and that's the top side. Okay, go ahead and take the backing off of the one that you put it on the top and the bottom. And then what you're going to do is open this up, and you're going to slide this piece in there and slide it right to that fold, and then just press that down. And see, that closes that end up, plus it attaches it on there. And then you've got this piece that you're going to attach it on here with. Okay, just make sure that you do the right end. It's got to be this end here, the left end, not this end. Make sure you do the right end, the left end. That was real brilliant, wasn't it? Okay, and then we'll just pull that backing off, fold that in, and then, now this score tape is very, very sticky. So when you put this down, you got to make sure you've got it in the place that you want it, because if you try pulling it up, it's going to tear. All right, let's go ahead and put something here. And I've got this little scrap. We might just put that piece there. I'm going to cut it off some though. I don't want it to cover quite that much of my page. So we're going to cut it right there. I'm going to have to turn some air on. It's getting hot out here. I tell you, one day we've got the heat on, the next day we got the air on. One day we got the heat and the air on. So it's miserable here in Alabama. Let's see, I don't think I got that cut exactly straight. And of course all of this, I know, wreaks havoc on everybody's sinuses. It does mine. It's like you can't get used to one until it turns another direction. We actually had like 30-degree weather yesterday morning, I believe it was. No, day before yesterday morning when I went for my surgery. We had like 30-degree weather, so I wore, you know, long sleeves. I wore a little sweater because I know in the OR it's freezing anyway. And then yesterday it was a little bit warmer, but it was still cool. So when I went back for my post-op check, I wore a sweater. And now today it's like shorts. Weather. I don't know. Alabama. I know a lot of states. I've heard you guys say that your weather's doing this too. So it's not just us. It's a little bit everybody. Okay, there you go. So you've got the little tuck pocket there, journaling space here, and then you've got your pocket here and a pocket here. I think that's cute. Now on this one, I don't know if I'll put, let's see, do we have anything else that we could slide on there? I may just put that little flower on there. I made that yesterday, just playing around with that punch, that new punch that we have. So I may put that on there. I love this punch, by the way. To the person who suggested that I get some of these. Love it. And see, this one you can see all of the different layers on, because I use different colors. And then I'm just going to put a little piece of bling in the middle of it. Like I said, these are all from different collections, but they all work together real well. There we go. All right, so that is finished. Ready to go. Then we've got that one and that one. Okay, I think we've got our pages and pockets ready that I can tell. I just thought I saw a wasp fly by. I wouldn't doubt it. They've been keeping our doors open, doing all of this work and things, so there's no telling what all's in my house right now. Now I'm going to ink a little bit on this, and I'm using the pink, the Victorian Velvet, just because I think that's a really pretty color with this. But I'll cut out all of the inking that I do here. I know you guys know how to ink. Now since these were just index cards, I did go to the back and I glued just a scrap strip of paper back there because these are quite old. And again, I didn't want them breaking off or cracking or anything like that. So that one I've got finished. I punched my holes and then I made a little template, as you can see. And the reason I made a template is because some of these are not going to be quite as long, but I want to be able to center them up. I'll get that out in a minute. So see, I can put my template right there and then punch my holes, if my hole punch will cooperate with me. I need to clean it out. You can see that everything's sticking in it. That's because you need to clean it. I'm not a good tool mama. Alright, let's see. I'm going to make sure I put these down the right way. That goes that way, that goes that way. And then again, we want to, I can't pick it up. We want to make sure we punch these the right way. And you could just use your front card when you get it punched if you want to, but you know, it's easier for me to make a little template. But you can do it either way you want, just as long as you get your little holes in the same spot. Does anybody else have this problem when you don't clean these things out, that it just sticks in there? That aggravates me. I'm like, I don't have time to clean you out, just quit sticking. So I'm just going to go through here and punch the rest of these, and then we'll be back to start putting this together. You don't need to watch me punch every hole. Okay, all of our holes are punched. Now we can look at the front cover and see what that's looking like. Oh, that's nice and dry. I'll go ahead and get my gesso, and I'm going to go around the edges. Okay, wrap our little brush back up. Now I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to go ahead, since that front is dry, we're going to go ahead and put some paper in here. So let me see what I've got in that collection that will still got enough of that will go in there. Okay, here are some really pretty little pieces. Oh, I like that one. That one would be pretty there. And then I can put another little piece back here. And I may actually have a scrap that would go here. And I wouldn't have to cut into a whole new piece of paper. I don't know. Let's decide if we're going to put this down, and then we'll figure out the very end of it. Now I'm not going to go all the way to the end out here, because I know I'm going to have to trim a little of that off. And then back here we'll do something else. I don't know what yet, but we'll do something else, I promise. So I'm going to try to cut that right there. See what happens. Let me grab my big trimmer. I'm going to get those little rabbits in there. I may even put the other end of that there if it's tall enough. Okay, I just slid this in there so that I could see about how much I need to cut off, because that's going to determine how much of the paper I need. So I know I need to cut it right there, right in that last little groove there. And then the same thing on the back side. Cut it right down through there. Yeah, that will work. Okay. Now we can take that back out, and that'll help me a little bit more on determining how to put this down. Alright, now it looks like I either cut my chipboard a little crooked, which is very possible, because this chipboard is not the easiest thing in the world to cut, because down here I have a little bit of paper showing on the edge. I will just trim that off. I'm going to put, or I may not trim it off, because I'm going to put some lace on the edges anyway. So I may not even trim it. I may just put the lace on there and leave it as is. You won't see it once the lace gets on there anyway. So we'll doctor it up real pretty. Always a way to fix it. Just have to be patient and not try to do things so perfect. There's no perfection in crafting. Used to, I tried to get everything perfect because I was an accountant. So, you know, we had to have everything perfect. But I have learned over the years to just give in to it, Edith. You don't have to have it perfect. Sometimes the imperfection is as pretty as the perfection to me. So don't try to get it perfect. Just make it. If you're not satisfied with a spot, you can always add some lace or some buttons or some trim or something. Embellishments, always a way to fix it. Believe me, in my lifetime, I have had to fix quite a few things. Okay. Oh yeah, that will work, because our trim is going to go right down through there, so nobody will ever be the wiser. And then I'm just going to go ahead. Ooh, that's a perfect. Little bit tall, but not much. I'm going to go ahead and put that little piece right there. That will work. Just going to put my glue on this, hopefully. And just line that up as best you can. Oops, you know what I forgot? I forgot to ink on this one. That makes a difference. There we go. Got our inking on there. And then we'll trim this little piece down here off. There we go. And then we'll do a little bit more inking here. Oh, the side of my desk, I'm telling you. It's a madhouse. Alright. So that's the inside. Now, I'm probably, let's see. You know me, I'm not very patient when it comes to letting things dry. So, yeah, I think that's just the right size. Okay, alright. So that looks good. There's our centerpiece right there. Now what we need to do on here is we need to find our center, which is there. And then I want to punch some holes. I'm going to use my little, and let's just kind of center it up. Let's see, about right there. We're going to punch some holes in here. I think it will go on there. Yes. Okay. And then a hole in here. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Now, have our holes in there. Now, this again is going to have to be reinforced. So I am going to reinforce it here with lace. That's what I'm thinking at the moment, because I think the lace will make it even better and stronger. So that's going to go in there like that, and we'll go through with our little holes. And you know what? I think I might have put my holes in the wrong spot. I think so. But we can cover them. Not to worry. Don't panic. Don't panic. Yeah, they're a little bit off. So what we're going to do is, yeah, my holes needed to go on back up here. I put them too close to the edge. But this is going to be covered with lace, so nobody is going to know. But I do need to bring my holes on up this way some. Because see, that's actually going to go out there like that. So my holes need to be, let's make sure. My holes actually need to be right there and right there. Let's make sure I got this the right way up. Let's try that again. There's our center, we know that. So our holes need to be right there and right there. So we're just going to mark those little holes, and then we'll use our big bite. Let me grab it. Our old trusty rusty big bite, and we'll put those holes in there. There's another, and then let's just make sure that we're marking them in the right spot on the back. So to do that, I'm just going to do just like this. I'm going to poke that through there. Put my little marks in there, and then we'll go through this again. I know right now it looks like I'm making a big mess, but I promise we'll cover all this up. Because I don't like to start projects over. I like to mend them if I need to. Mend them. Mend and correct. Right. Now we should have our, let's see. I'm just going to stick them in there like that just to look. See if our little holes are where we need them. Yeah, I think that works right there. I think it's going to work. Okay. All right, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch these through with a needle. This is not something you have to do. This is just going to be a lot easier on my hands, so I don't have to hold everything so tight. But I'm going to stitch these little guys with a needle and thread. And I've just got my big old needle here. That way I can also look at them and make sure I'm getting them all the right way up. It's just easier for my hands when I do something like this because I have a problem holding things tight with this hand. So this just makes it easier. And again, this thread and all of this is not going to be seen anyway, so I mean, if it is, it's okay because this is a good thread. Okay, I think there's two go through there. All right, so there is that one. And then we'll just go back through here, and I'm just going to go through and pick up all of these little pages here. Okay, I think I have all of those stitched together, and I'm going to just flip through real quick and just make sure that all of my pieces are the right way up, because I am the famous one to put pages upside down. I get in a hurry and I forget to look, and also I'm checking to make sure that I've got them all attached, because that would be very important. Okay, looks good. So then we shall cut a piece of this. I'm going to go ahead and tie it in here. This, like I said, you don't have to do this. You can attach everything at one time if you want, but this helps my hands. I have to do things that helps my hands out because it's just harder for me to do it the other way and attach it all at once. Okay, so there are little pages attached, and now we can put it in here. And I'm probably going to run this through with the same thread. I want to put seam binding on here after I put my lace on, but I don't think I want seam binding run through here. I don't know. I'm trying to think about that. What do you think? Seam binding run through here? All right, so what are we thinking for seam binding? And we are going to decorate the fronts. Just hang on. But I'm thinking that blue would be beautiful, would it not? Since we've got a lot of pink in here anyway, I'm thinking the blue. All right, let's go with that. This, again, is from my scrap cabin on Etsy. I'll put her link below. She has the most beautiful seam binding. It's crinkle seam binding that she does. I love it. Love, love, love it. That's all I've got in my little stash right now. Alright, so let's see if we can do this. Not sure. I don't have big holes punched, but we shall work on it. If we get it through there, oh yes, it come through there. Very, very good. Alright, now I want to go through here. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut off a big lot here. If it's too much, I can always give the remaining pieces to the person who purchased this. Got that one. Go ahead and run it through there. Find my hole again. There we go. Through there, through that, and pull that up. Oops, I think I'm pulling the wrong side. Yep. And then back up through here. Because we want that to come out on top so that we can tie it. Cute, I like that. I like it already. I like it already. Okay. Now we need to get this nice and tight, because if we don't, these little pages are going to slide around in here. So I just want to make sure that I've got it tight all the way and that my pages are straightened up. Okay, there we go. All right. Now I may have to adjust this again, but right now I'm just going to tie it to hold it, and we will go on with the other parts of the decorating here. Yeah, that's a lot of seam binding, but I'll give the remaining to the person who purchased this. Cute. Alright, so there is it so far. Now, like I said, we're going to put some decoration on the front, and I'm also going to run some lace on it. So I have a couple of images here. I have this sweet little rabbit, and then I have this piece right here that I thought I might just cut him out and put him on the front. Now I'm going to do my little circle cut that I like to do because I'm not good at cutting a circle. So what I do is I go and I cut off all of the little edges right up to that circle, and then I just come back and clean it up. Makes it a lot easier for me. I'm not good at cutting just a circle. See, then I just come back and clean those little spurs up that's sticking out there, and there we go, got a circle. Just makes it easier for me. Gonna ink our imperfection. There we go. And then that little guy's gonna go there. Oh, I would love him. But we're gonna put something under him first. Now I'm not gonna cover all of this, but I want to cover some of it. So let me grab what I'm going to put under there. Alright, I think I'm going to put some of this trim on there. I just think that looks really cute with the little bunnies. I'm just trying to decide which is the front and which is the back. There we go. Like that. Alright, so we'll put that down there, put our little piece on there. Oh, I like that, that's cute. And then we can run some trim on the edge, I think. Yeah, and that'll kind of cover that up where I cut a little bit crooked. So I'm trying to decide if I want to move my little bunny down a little bit and just run my trim at the top, or if I want to run it at the top and the bottom. So let's cut off a piece and we'll decide. I have to lay it and look at it. I don't know about you guys, but I have to lay it up there and look at it. Let's see, we could do our little bunny like this. Pull that back up. I want the bottom of this to show is what I'm after. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. First off, we're going to put this down. Let's see. Yep. And now I need to put a little bit of glue right there. A little bit down here. There we go. So that is down. And then let's go ahead. Okay, let's go ahead and put this down. Just debating how far down I want to put it. I think I'm going to put it pretty close to the edge. And then this will still show. So it's not going to be hooked all the way. But it's going to be hooked enough. There we go. Trim that little piece off right there. Yeah, See, it still hangs over some, and that's fine. Not a problem there. And we'll go ahead and put some glue here, and I will probably put a little piece on the back as well. Right now I'm just going to kind of fold that around like that. And then, alright, let's go ahead and do it down here too. And this just expands the little album too if you put some trim. Like if you cut your piece a little bit too small, you can always put some lace on there and it will make it a little bit bigger for you. Give it a little bit more room. Okay, go down. I can't get that piece straight for some weird reason. There we go. I think I'm a little bit nervous because hubby's out shopping for flooring for our repairs, and which I could have went, but he said, if you want to go, I'll just let you go, and I won't go and look. I said, no. I mean, he's really good at that kind of thing, so, and I don't know that much about all of how much it takes to do what with and all of that, so, and he does, since he done flooring forever and a day. So I said, no, you go. So now he's texting me every little bit saying, okay, this is going to be this much, and this is going to be that much, and we need to do this now, and I said, okay, whatever, just do it. I don't know. I don't want all the details. It makes me nervous. I don't want to know the money. That makes me nervous. I mean, our insurance company is going to pay, but, you know, right now, we're just trying to get some ordered, because if we don't get it ordered, it'll be who knows when before we can get it in. And it may be who knows when anyway, because everything is so far out now. So we decided we better go ahead and order it if we plan on having a floor to walk on anytime this year. Okay. And then I'm going to glue these two little pieces right here together. I could stitch them together, and I may have to do that, but I'm going to see if they'll hold just by putting a little glue right there. They might. So there's that. That little piece on there. And then we'll put our little bunny on there. Oh, I love that. He's so cute. Now, let's see. Do we want to put him flush, or do we want to pop him up a little bit? I think we'll put him down flush, because I know a lot of people use these, you know, they carry them in their bag or whatever, and I don't want this to take a chance on coming off. So we're just going to put him flush. Cute. Oh my goodness. Now I'm glad I did do this in blue instead of pink, because we've got so much pink going on here on the front anyway, that I think the blue is a lot better. Now, I'm not going to try to open this up right this minute all the way, because everything is still drying. But eventually, this will open up like this. And it'll fold right there. And then these actually fold up like this. But I have to wait for all of that glue to dry before I can do that. And then here in the back, same thing. It'll fold. We'll have a little fold right down through there. And then this is the spine part, and we wanted to put a little trim across that to cover up where I punched those extra holes. So let me grab just a little piece of lace that I might have in my stash. Let's see if we got anything right here that we could use. I may have to go and find something different. Yeah, I'm going to find something different. Hold on just a second. Okay, I actually have this little piece that I got from someone, don't know who, and it's got blue and pink in there. Let's see if it's going to work. Yes, it will. Good. Oh, look at my little bubble there. And I'm just putting it in between these two laces, because it really doesn't need to cover those up. Oh my goodness, that is cute. That goes with it perfect. And I'm just going to stuff this down in that little crevice there, and then it will stick real well. Same on this side. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and cut my trim off here, or my seam binding off here, because we don't need that much, and I'll include that in my package that I send to her. So now let's see if we need to do anything else as far as, I know I want to put a couple of little pockets on the inside, but I can't really do that until everything dries where I can open it up. So I don't know that I want to do anything else on the front. What do you guys think? And I'm thinking I'll just stick this in with the package too, and they can use that wherever they want. I will probably come back and put some trim on the pages too, but again, I'm going to wait until all the pages dry. I'm not going to try to put that on there right now and mess everything up. I'm just going to wait till all the glue dries, and then we'll open this up and I'll go through and put some trim and things on the edges. But I just think that is super, super cute. I love it. Love it, love it. And I hope the person who purchased this is going to love it too. I really do. But we will talk to you guys later. I think that's all I'm going to do on this little guy today. I'll show you some photos, and then hopefully I'll have photos of the inside when I get where I can open this up. I'll take some photos of the inside and show you that too. But we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.